Okay, so welcome. My name is Lance Luke. I'm the National Building Expert, also a construction engineer, and we'll be talking about some roofing things. And basically, the background behind these webinars is we put it together, Martin and I, to help building owners, condo associations, property managers, homeowners, and anybody who has an interest in the topic of the webinar, which today is roofing. So it's roofing, facts to be on top. And as my dog says, we're going to talk about woofing. So let's do that. We're going to discuss roof designs, types of roof coverings, causes of roof failures, and some information on maintenance, repair, and if you need to replace your roof. So that's the main topics. So let's go right into it. What are the most common roof designs? Most common would be a flat roof, like the photo on the left, or a shed roof, photo on the right. A shed roof is actually a sloped roof, and it could be uh, slightly sloped, or it could be drastically sloped. And the as you can tell, if you have a flat roof and you're on the mainland, that's not good for snow. And that's why the design of the shed roof, that slope, is designed for snow. So when there's a lot of snow piling up, it slides down, or it doesn't just pile up on the roof and cause a loading problem. So the flat roof and the shed roof, and there's other types. There's a gable roof. Think of a gable roof as a barn with a tall roof, and or a church. And that's basically the design of that gable roof. And then there's the hip roof, which is a lot of homes in Hawaii and on the mainland are designed with a hip roof. What it is a modified gable, uh, as you can tell from the photo. And that's basically the most common type of a roof design, basically in Hawaii, is the hip roof. And then, there's probably at least 20 different designs of roofs, but these are your most common ones. And there's a mansard roof and a gambrel. A mansard is the typical McDonald's restaurant. What it is you have the roof basically looks like the side of the building, but it goes all the way to the top. And then at the top, it's flat. So it's basically two sections of roof, a flat roof, and then a section of sides of the roof that kind of look like walls, but it's actually part of the whole roof system. It's not the wall of the building. It's just part of the roof. And then you have a gambrel, which is commonly used in barns, and a lot of homes in uh, mid uh, mid-eastern or eastern states have this type of roof. And it's basically like a modified gable roof, but then you see the top section is a gable, and then it extends down to the sides, and you see the windows on the second story. Those are called dormers, and there could be bedrooms up there, or it could be a big attic space, but the windows are to let light and ventilation. In some cases, if it's an attic, you can't open the window, and it's just a closed window to let light into the attic space. So those are your basic main types of roof designs, and there's a whole bunch more. Like I told you, there's actually interesting roof design for Chinese temple, and they have different type of roofing material, but I don't have a picture of that because it's not that common. Okay, moving along, let's talk about the most common types of roof material. And I got three photos here. The photo on the left is asphalt shingle, and that's your most common roofing material in Hawaii and also in the United States. We're talking about for residential construction. Commercial construction is a little different. So the asphalt shingle is actually made of basic roofing paper, and they have these minerals of different colors that are attached to that roofing paper, and that's called a roof shingle. And that's really a simplified explanation of it. And then you have a wood shake or wood shingles, and that's the photo on in the middle. And what is the difference of a wood shake or wood shingle? Well, normally a wood shake is thicker, okay, a thicker material, and then the shingles are thinner. And that's basically the difference. It could be made out of the same wood, and they use cedar, but then the difference is the size of it and the thickness. And in the old days, they used to actually take cedar logs and split it with an axe, and that's how they made their wood shake roofing. And then you have the concrete tile. If you look at the photo on the right, which is red, that's actually a concrete tile roof. And normally, or generally, it was called a Monier tile, but it's really concrete tile because Monier was a brand name. And then now they have other names for it, but it's basically made out of concrete material. And then you have other forms of tile roof that are made of fiber cement or a mixture of wood with fiber cement, but that really didn't last too long. And let's look at some other common types of roof covering. You have a metal roof, and the photo on the left is called a standing seam roof. And why is it called that? Well, it's called that because if you look at the roof, it's not all flat, and there's raised seams or ridges, and they call it standing, which is standing up. So that's called a standing seam roof. In the old days, in Hawaii, especially in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, they had a metal corrugated iron roof, and it was basically sheets of metal. And every time it rained, you could really hear the raindrops, and the metal was so thin. And then in the middle photo, you have what's called a built-up roof. It's basically a flat roof, and they have layers of roofing material, and it's built one layer upon the other, and that's why it's called a built-up roof. And then the photo on the right is called a roof coating. And basically, for commercial roofs, this is very common. And the coating is actually sort of like, consider it sort of like paint for a wall of the house, but it's a different type of material, and you either spray it on or roll it. And that's called your roof coating. A lot of times when your flat roof gets too disintegrated, instead of ripping off that roofing material and replacing the roof new, you coat it, and that saves a lot of money, provided that the initial roofing material is still intact. There's no holes in there or open seams where water can get in, because if water gets in and it's sitting underneath the roof material, even if you coat it, that's not going to help. You could still have a roof leak. So what other types of roof covering do we have? So in your own house, you probably had a roof type that I mentioned already. Okay, so let's look at some other ones that are a little different. So you have a TPO roof, and what that is basically sheets of roll material, and TPO stands for thermoplastic polyolefin. And what it is a mixture of polypropylene and ethylene rubbers. It's a combination of high-tech plastic and rubber mixed together. And they actually heat weld the sections together. And it's a good roof, but the drawback is you shouldn't put it on a commercial roof where there's high traffic. You got a lot of equipment on the roof, or a lot of things going on in the roof, a lot of workers going up, and because the type of material is easily punctured. And this is not the best roof to put a solar PV system on because of the type of material it is. Okay, and basically these three types are for commercial use, or the two types, and then I'll talk about the solar shingles in a little while. The middle photo is a what's called a green roof, and basically it's like your front yard or your garden on top of your roof. And this is a photo of a commercial roof, and as you can see that in the background there's a tall high-rise building, and then you know that metal-looking thing, that's actually exhaust vent, okay, which is on the roof. So if you look closely, it's basically a garden on top of the roof. Now, what are the benefits of this green roof? Well, by the way, this is not anything new. It came from those Nordic countries. So if you go to Scandinavia or Norway, you're going to see actually houses that have grass growing on their roof. And the benefits is it reduces heat, it saves energy, and you can actually grow your own fruits and vegetables on your own roof. Okay. The drawbacks are it's very expensive to build and maintain, especially on a commercial roof. And it's subject to clogged drains because you got soil and plants growing, and backup drainage, and also leaks. There have been leaks into the top floor of a commercial building because your garden roof was leaky. And you actually have to water your roof to keep it green. So there's a lot of high-tech roofs that I've inspected on buildings. There's one in San Francisco, well, a couple in San Francisco, but there's one that's a hotel, and they had a nice garden and they had a sprinkler system. And when you think about water and the roof, especially when you're designing an irrigation system, that's really not the best idea. It's almost like if you have a 40-story high-rise building and you have a swimming pool on the top of your roof. That's not the ideal situation, but it happens. Now, here's something fairly new, solar shingles. So remember we talked about asphalt or wood shingles or shake. It's a similar concept, except each of the shingles is an actual mini solar panel. And so Tesla has designed, and there's other companies that design these shingles, and they all interlock and hook together, and there's wires in every one. And basically, your whole house roof has these solar shingles, and it can basically power your house. Now, it's something fairly new yet, and it's going through testing, and it really hasn't been proven yet, although I've seen houses on the mainland and they're actually installing these right now. So we'll see what happens. But I think it's a good idea because your roofing material actually gets hit with a lot of sun. So if you have any type of roofing material that's converted into a solar panel, then that's a good idea. I mean, this eliminates the need for those big solar panels on top of your roof. Let's talk about general roofing specifications. Now, if you're going to repair your roof or build a roof new or replace it, what are the components that make up your entire roof system, or the components that are needed? So let's go from the top down. So we're talking, what do you see when you step back and look at the top of your roof? You're going to see your roofing material. So whether it's asphalt, shingle, metal, concrete tile, or whatever kind of material, that's what you're going to see first. And then the question you may ask is, well, what's underneath that? Okay, so you have an underlayment, which is called roofing paper, and there's different types, and some technical specifications call for two different types of underlayment, like a roofing paper and like a shark skin, or well, that's what it's called. It's not really a shark skin, but it's another protective layer, and it's like a waterproofing layer. So basically, if you install the underlayment and you put this other plastic layer over it, your roof is watertight already, provided it's installed correctly. And then below that, you have your roof decking. And what is roof decking? Well, roof decking is actually the structural component. So you have your roof framing, which is structural, and then your decking. So your roof is framed up, let's say, and then you put these 4x8 sheets of plywood, and then you nail it to your roofing frame, and then after that you install your underlayment and then your roofing material on top. So in a reverse situation, once you have the framing completed, then you install your roof decking, then the underlayment, and then the roofing material on top. So every roof basically has the same components, although the caveat is in the 70s, when houses were having a new roofing material installed, which was concrete tile, they actually didn't put any roofing paper. So if you in one of those houses or in a garage and you look up in the ceiling, you're going to see bare concrete, and that bare concrete is the underneath side of the concrete roofing tile. Okay, so and of course, because of that design, it's subject to leakage because you don't have the additional layer of roofing paper to help protect it in the event of leaks. So basically, those are the components. And then, what else? Okay, so if you look at the middle photo, there's actually a chimney, and you cannot put roofing paper just around the base of the chimney, so they have to put what's called flashing. In the old days, they used lead, and now lead's banned, so they have to use some kind of metal, which would be stainless steel or other metal types like copper maybe, and they bend it around that base of the chimney and they seal it so that you can prevent leaks. Okay, now if you look at the photo on the right, you see those horizontal wood strips, and you see these wood strips going across your roof. Okay, in the old days, they didn't have plywood. They just installed these strips, which are called purlins, and then they installed your roofing shingles on top of that. So basically, you got a lot of holes or spaces in the roof, and by today's standard, that's not allowed. You cannot have openings like that. You have to fully cover the roof. And all these are residential houses. Commercial is a little bit different, but it's still the same process. Now, roofing specifications let's talk about other components to your roof that are important. If you look at the photo on the left, that's a photo of an asphalt shingle roof. And what is that brown thing going down? Okay, and that's metal, and that's called flashing. And whenever you have two sections of roof joined together and they go down in a pitch, that's called a valley. And this is called a roof valley flashing. Now, without this flashing, you could have leaks right at the cut because you can see the two sections of roofs are cut right for the valley here. And that's one method of installing this asphalt shingle. Another method is to interweave shingles to cover this whole valley area. So you don't necessarily have flashing. It's basically all covered up with roof shingles. Now the photo in the middle, actually there's two photos together. What this is a roof drain. So if you look at the left side photo of the middle image, you see that hole there? That's called a scupper. And this is basically a flat roof. And the scupper is like, if you're on a boat, your boat has scuppers, and if there's a lot of water that comes inside the boat, then these scuppers actually act as drainage to let the water out. And that's the same concept of this flat roof. As you can see, the scupper is located a little bit higher than the plane of the roof elevation. So if there's a lot of flooding and the water collects on your roof, then it starts draining out through these holes here. Okay. Now, on a big roof, there's no way to install all these scuppers. You have to have intermediate or interior roof drains because the roof is so big. And that's what this photo shows. It's actually roof drains. So you have these holes in your roof that is connected to a drain pipe. And in a high-rise building, say a 40-story building, when you have a lot of rain, the water drains into this roof drain and goes down the pipe all the way to the ground. And hopefully the roof is designed properly so that it's sloped a little, even on a flat roof, it's sloped a little so that the water drains into this drain pipe. Okay. Now, so many times I go up and look at roofs and there's water sitting there because it's not sloped to the drain. The drain is basically dry every time it rains. Now, if you look at the photo on the right, this is a vent pipe. It's a plumbing vent pipe. And you guys don't go on roofs. I do. And this is what you see. It's a pipe that's connected to your plumbing system for ventilation. And that's a must. And be sure that the base of this gets changed if it's corroded, because once this corrodes, now you have basically a hole where water can enter your roof. So if you're doing a roof repair or re-roofing, make sure that all these components are addressed. Your plumbing pipe, exhaust vents. If you have mechanical exhaust vent, you got to go up through the roof, and there's it's called a rain hood that sits on your roof, or a dryer vent, same thing. Now you might ask, what are the causes of failing roof, or the causes of roof failure? All right, so here's some things. You could have, and I've inspected thousands of roofs, and these are the main causes of roof failure. One of them, as you can tell, is poor design. If you look at these, what looks like an apartment building, you see all the water on the roof. And to me, this is a poor design because there shouldn't be water sitting on the roof for this long. The rule of thumb is 48 hours. Now, what does that mean? That means if there's a heavy rain, within 48 hours, the water should be gone off your roof. It shouldn't be ponding that would attract ducks on top of your roof. There shouldn't be a swimming pool on your roof. So the reason I'm saying it's bad design because there's no drainage. I'm not sure whether they added any roof drains on it or not. I mean, this is not good because what happens if you have water constantly sitting on your roof? Eventually, it'll start developing leaks, right? It'll start mold growing and then leaks growing. And that photo on the left, if you look, it looks like there's a skylight here that's like, it's probably leaks. Okay. Another cause of roof failure is bad material. So if you look at the photo in the middle, you see these asphalt shingles. You see all that black, those black markings? That's areas where the minerals, the small granules that were attached to the roof material, the roofing paper, actually separated from the roofing material. And now all those black areas, there's no granules. It's not covered up with the minerals. So in this case, the material had a defect, and that's why these minerals were separating prematurely from the roof. And then another cause is substandard or poor workmanship. As you can see, these shingles in the photo were not nailed on correctly, and they just kind of started blowing, separating and going around. Okay, let's talk about some other causes of roof failure. Let's say you have a metal roof. And a lot of times on industrial buildings, they use a metal roof. And you can see there's two fasteners, one to the left and then another one on the right. And the right one is totally corroded. But there's actually a seam here. So not only did the installer install this fastener in the wrong location, you never install a fastener right where the edge is because it could easily tear off, but they used the wrong type of fastener. They used some defective material, and as you can see, it corroded. And when that screw corrodes, it also corrodes the metal portion of the roof that's surrounding that area. So you have a double jeopardy situation there. Okay, if you look at the middle photo, there's a poor flashing detail. So you can see this layer here. This looks like lead flashing, and then another layer here. So you got two here, and the detail is wrong, and you got sections that are lifted up. So what happens when there's heavy rain and heavy wind, and you have this section lifted up? Water's actually going in, and that's what causes a roof leak. And then if you have a flat roof, and if you have an open seam like this photo showing, of course water can get in. So that's another situation where there's a roof failure. Once water gets in under the seam, then it has to go somewhere, right? So water finds the path of least resistance. So if it's on a roof, it's going to find its way down somewhere. It's going to go across, and then it's going to eventually start leaking into the building somewhere. And that's not a very good condition that you would want. Okay, so some more causes of roof failure. You have poor coating application. As you can see by the photo on the left, it's not smooth, and you got a lot of defects in it. And this may be a silicone roof, but I'm not sure. And then you have standing water, where you have these seagulls there thinking it's time to play in the water. And then you have asphalt shingle roof, and this is what looks like a house or something, but there's heavy roof traffic. I'm not sure why, but as you can see, it's all marked up either by a painter or some other workman. So anytime you see all these scratches and what looks like boot marks and all that, that's heavy foot traffic. So it may not be that the roofing material was defective. It may be that it was good material, but you got too many people walking on your roof and floating around. They're not taking precautions to protect the roofing material, and that's what we see. Some more causes of roof failure. Well, an act of God. You have a tree that fell and damaged the roof. And then you have birds. As you can see, there's too many birds on this roof. And the caveat here is if you had a pigeon nest on your roof and the pigeons are born there, they're homing pigeons. So no matter what you do to chase them away, they're going to keep coming back home. And so you got to figure out, inventive ways of, protecting your roof so that these birds don't come back, by putting netting or some other material. And then the other cause of roof failure is just, lack of maintenance. If you look at this photo here, they let it's in the house is in a forest, and the tree leaves pile up on top of the roof. So it's pretty obvious that the homeowner didn't clean the roof for a while, and then you have this buildup here, and eventually the leaves start disintegrating, and then now you have this algae and moss buildup on the bottom, and it becomes its own ecosystem. So what about a roof inspection checklist? Well, I don't have a actual formal list to give to you, but just some fine general points where you should have your roof inspected at least every year. And if not, at least when there's a major storm. So if you have a hurricane or a huge storm, and with heavy rain and wind, then you should have somebody, check on your roof to see. Sometimes there's branches, sometimes there's loose shingles or a hole that was caused by some kind of debris that was flying around in the air. And I'm not expecting you guys to go on your roof and inspect it, but call a home inspector or a roofing contractor and pay the money to have them check it out, because in the long run, if they don't find anything, it's good, right? But if they do find something, then you'd want it fixed because you don't want a leak. And basically, the items that I explained previously, that's the items where you would want to have your roofer check, right? Your roof shingle, your flashing, your ventilation, plumbing vents, open seams, and that kind of thing. Now, here's a heads up. If your roof is old and you never had anything done to it, that's another reason why you need to get an inspection. Now, there's certain components of your roof that you should be aware of and the lifespan. So for instance, in general, asphalt shingle, the roofing material lasts between 20 to 50 years. And why is there a long range? Because of the type of quality. You could have poor quality, you could have better quality, a best quality, a better quality, good quality. It all depends, and you look at what the warranty is. And the rule of thumb in general for asphalt shingle, if your warranty says it's a 30-year warranty, okay, deduct 10 years. Because in my experience, the warranty period is more for a marketing promotion on behalf of the roofing company. It doesn't mean that your roof is going to last 30 years. So if you have a warranty for 30 years, deduct 10 years, and then I'm saying your roof is only going to last 20 years. If you have a 50-year warranty, which is a long time, your roof's not going to last 50 years. So deduct 10 years, and I'll say your roof's going to last 40 years, but that's only in, a good situation, a best case scenario. If you live in an area where it rains a lot, say Kaneohe or Nu'uanu or Manoa, or if you're on the mainland, you live in Seattle, Washington, or Portland, Oregon, and it rains a lot, and you have a 30-year asphalt shingle roof, your roof's not going to last that long. So that's just a marketing ploy when the roofing companies tell you there's a 30-year or 40 or 50-year warranty. Okay, so that's a takeaway. Now, speaking of warranties, ask about your warranties. If you have your roof repaired, is there a warranty for the repair? A lot of times the roofer says, no, there's no warranty because I'm only repairing it. I'm not redoing your whole roof. Okay, but they may be able to give you a warranty for the repaired area, but not for any other area that they didn't touch. Okay, now if you're redoing your roof new, make sure that it comes with a warranty. And what do you do with your warranty? Well, you read it, you understand it, and you follow it. Now, there's fine print that basically lets you know what is not covered under the warranty, or what you shouldn't do, or what things could void the warranty. So for instance, and I've read tons of roof warranties. Some are so simple. And get this, I read a roof warranty that says your warranty is void if you walk on your roof. Well, what does that mean? That means you can't go on your own roof. The other fine print would be you cannot do any repair work on your own. You have to hire a licensed roofing contractor that's certified to repair our brand of roof. And your warranty is void if there's any fireworks on your roof, or that lands on your roof. Or get this one, your warranty is void if solar panels are installed on your roof. And I've read those, and it's a shame when somebody, I know a situation where the guy had to go up on his roof. He had a concrete tile roof. He went up on his roof to retrieve some fireworks, burnt fireworks. And he walked on his roof, and then his roof started leaking. He called the roofing company, and the roofing company said, did anybody walk on the roof? And the owner said, yeah, I did. He goes, well, your warranty's void because you're not supposed to. And he go, well, how am I supposed to get the fireworks up my roof? And he said, well, you should have called us. So his warranty was voided, but he had to pay for the repair. So, be very careful of reading the warranties, and also be careful when you go out and you get estimates, make sure that the contractor is licensed and they put everything in writing. And you want to know exactly what type of roof is going to be installed and what all the components are. So make sure the contractor writes all that in on his proposal. Okay, asphalt shingle. I want to know what brand, and I want to know what the warranty is. It's a 30-year, 40-year, 50-year, is it a lifetime? And I want to know what type of flashing you're going to use. And just make him put down the whole list. Don't just get a one-page thing that says, I'm going to replace your roof and I'm going to give you a warranty. Okay, well, what does that mean? What kind of warranty? Are you giving a labor warranty? Are you giving a material warranty? Are you giving both? And then, how long is the warranty? all that. There's a lot of questions to ask. If you don't know, reach out to us and we'll be able to help you. So basically, in a nutshell, that's what roofing is all about. And before I take the questions, I want to let you know that there's upcoming webinars we have in the future. The next webinar is on premises liability, avoid the lawsuits, and it's not only pertains to your own house, but if you're a property manager or insurance person, it covers both residential and commercial, because the things I'm going to cover are basically similar. And then we have one interesting webinar on painting, and then we have one in the future on wood repair. So all these are kind of tied in. By the way, these topics were put together based on polling and surveys that we did of what people wanted to hear and what they wanted to learn about. So at this time, I'd like to open it up for questions. And by the way, appreciate you guys attending. We've had hundreds of people attending our various webinars and also viewing our on-demand videos of our webinars that we gave. We started this whole process back in January, and every month we're adding, 2 new webinars to our schedule and recorded on demand. So once again, thanks for attending, and I'll open it up to any questions. Ask away right now. Martin, are you there?
Yes, Lance, I'm here.
Okay, good. You didn't run away yet.
No, not yet.
Okay, so anybody use the chat feature, Q&A, or raise hand for questions? So Martin, did you run away? Or maybe your microphone is muted?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got to unmute. To talk.
Oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
Thought you fell asleep.
I've checked our Q&A. No pressing questions there in the chat. Remember you did such a good job. No questions, all the questions answered. But we've had some from mail-ins, I guess maybe from some of those that couldn't make it. So let me ask a few of those, yeah?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, here's one. It says, I saw an ad that said the roofing shingles comes with a lifetime warranty. Is that really true?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Oh, the questioner was asked, I saw an ad that said roofing shingles come with a lifetime warranty. Is that really true?
Okay, the answer is no, not really. And I wanna clarify that. In my opinion, there's no such thing as a lifetime warranty, because why would a company give a warranty for a lifetime? The question is, whose lifetime? Is it the lifetime of the person, of the homeowner, or is it a lifetime of the roof? And I would ask, okay, if it's a lifetime warranty, what does that really mean? And when I asked these people directly, they said, well, it means that the roof's gonna last 50 years. I said, well, 50 years and a lifetime is different. So what do you consider a lifetime? If a person lives to 80 years old or 100 years old, is a roof gonna last that long? Is it a lifetime of the person, or is it a lifetime of the roof? And if you read the fine print, let's say that it's a lifetime warranty and they say it's 50 years because that's the lifetime of the roof. Well, why don't you say 50 years instead of lifetime? Well, lifetime sounds better for marketing purposes. The other thing is there's a declining value. So let's say you spent $30,000 on a brand new roof and they give you a lifetime warranty. Okay, and they say the roof is going to last 50 years. Okay, so if 30 years go by and now you have 20 years left, is a roofer going to come, if there's a problem, come and replace your whole roof? No, they're going to go and say, okay, so you spent X amount of dollars, we'll amortize, we'll look at this and divide the amount you spent by the 50 years, and then each year is a sign of value, multiply that by 20, and here's what your true value is. And we're only going to cover up to this value or something like that. So it's a kind of tactic, and I've yet to see if you guys are here as attendees and you find a lifetime warranty document that someone gives you, I really want to see it. I've never seen, I've been doing this for 41 years now. I've never seen any lifetime warranty roofing document that's actually a lifetime. So, it's basically a game that these guys play. So in answer to the question, no, there's no such animal. And if there was, I would know about it. So basically, I would say the answer is no. But I'm willing to be proven wrong. So, let me know if you encounter anything like that. Yeah, I like that question. Okay, we have any others?
Oh, yeah, that's a good answer. Thanks, Lance. The next question was what is the best type of roofing material for a flat roof?
Interesting. Oh, so let's say it's residential. Okay, there's various roof covering that you could put. There's acrylic type, there's silicone. The caveat though, if you have a flat roof and you put silicone on it, you cannot put anything else on that because it won't stick to the silicone. So there's various other material that's not silicone, like brand name would be Hydrostop. You could put that, and it's a whole system, and that's good. Or you could go with what's called Bry. What that is a composition shingle. It's like an asphalt shingle material, except it's a big sheet, and it comes in rolls basically. And there's other different materials. So it's good to ask questions and then ask, how long is this roof going to last? So if the Bry roof is going to last 20 years, but then your Hydrostop is going to last 30, you do the math, and it may be more cost effective to pay a little more to get a longer warranty. Okay, so basically that's residential. If it's commercial, it's a whole different ballgame because now you got silicone, you got your acrylics, you got your TPO and various other types. So that's a whole different animal, and you're talking a difference between $30,000 for residential and now $200,000 for commercial. So it all depends. If you're watching and you ask a question and you still need more information, just let us know. We'll be happy to guide you in the right direction.
Thank you, Lance.
Okay.
Here's one that's looks like somebody got a roofing leak problem. It says my roof is leaking and I need to get it fixed. How do I compare roofing bids to make sure I do not get charges extra if the roofer has to replace damaged wood?
Okay, so make sure that the scope of work is the same. So you don't have one proposal saying, all right, I'm gonna repair your roof and it's $1,000 and that's all. And then roofer number 2 said, I'm gonna repair your leak, and here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna coat over a 2-foot by 6-foot section, and I'm gonna use this kind of material. That's better. And then you could have roofer number 3 say, I'm going to do the same as roofer number 2, but I'm going to do additional wood repair, and I'm going to need 4x8 sheet of plywood. I'm going to need 2x4s and, you know, nails and this and that. And he includes all that in. Okay, so his price is going to be higher than roofer number 1, because roofer number 1 didn't include the roof repair. So that's how you're going to compare. Don't only go by price, go by the scope of work, what they're going to do. Also, a big tip would be if, and make sure the contractor writes this in his proposal, that if in the event he needs to repair additional wood beyond what he quoted for, that he specifies how much is he going to charge for the wood and how much is he going to charge for labor. So if he charges $65 for labor an hour, and it takes him, 4 hours of additional work, you know exactly what your price is going to be. Now, with respect to the wood, lately, if you go buy lumber, and I've just, I bought a couple $1,000s worth of lumber recently, and the price has gone up from about 3 months ago, 3 times. So it's not cheap. So make sure that the roofer includes the cost of the materials and then what the markup is for them. Yeah. So you want to get it as detailed as possible so you can compare the difference. And I would not hire a roofer who's just going to give you a one-page proposal that says, I'll fix your leak for X amount of dollars. I want to know, specifics, what material they're going to use, how they're going to do it, and what the warranty is. Okay, so, and hopefully there's no leaks after that. But once they do the work, if there is a leak and you have the warranty, then you just call them back. Right? So good. Anything else?
Well, thanks. That's a good one. And I've seen that too. The material costs are just skyrocketing for, construction materials to get. So, yep. The next question has to do. It looks like somebody's doing some solar panel work. It says I got bids to install solar PV panels on my roof, and every bid says that the PV contractor is not liable for any roof leaks. What can I do to make sure my roof does not leak after the PV panels are installed?
Okay, so are you saying the PV contractor is not responsible for any leaks?
That's what it sure sounds like on this question.
Okay, so that's an interesting thing because here's what you should do. If you're installing PV on your roof, you make sure if the PV contractor says we're not responsible for any leaks, you make sure that you tell them somebody is going to be responsible. If it's not you, who is it going to be? You contract with a licensed roofing company and you work with that roofing contractor when you install PV, because I don't want my roof to leak. You can't just install the panels and go, we're not responsible for the leak. So if I sign the contract and hire you, Mr. PV company, you have to guarantee me that there's no roof leak. And how are you going to do that? You're going to sub out the work to a roofing contractor who's licensed to do my kind of roof. And if there's any leak, I'm going to call that roofing contractor back and he's going to patch it. And that's going to be all under the PV contract. And if they say, no, I don't do that, say, okay, then I don't want to work with you because I can't have you going on my roof and drilling holes in the roof and then not responsible for any leaks. That's like not fair. To me, that's not even professional. Okay, so in all the contracts, the PV contracts that I review, I make sure that that contractor is responsible for roof leaks. Now, if they're not going to be responsible, they make the roofer responsible. Somebody has to be responsible. I don't want any leaks in any of the buildings that I manage. So, and I've seen, and you can tell people this, I've inspected so many PV installations, and the majority of them are not installed correctly. Why? Because you have these what's called quick mount brackets or systems and flash. When they penetrate through the roof, they have to flash it correctly and caulk it so that when it rains, water doesn't go in, the roof penetration areas. So if they're not installing the quick mount correctly, it has to be, under a roof shingle totally. They're not doing it correctly. And, in the heyday, when solar was very, very popular, everyone was putting solar up, and these companies were opening up overnight. I'm a solar contractor, and these guys didn't know what they were doing. So just a heads up. Hey, Martin, didn't you have your roof done and with the solar?
I sure did, yeah, and I know what you're talking about, and it's a big issue, yeah. We're making sure that especially when you've got a roof, and then you got solar up there, and you replace your roof, and you got to take the solar off, replace the roof, and they get the solar back on it. You can complicate stuff. So yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right, and that's important. Yeah, that somebody got to be responsible, especially when you spend $30,000-$40,000 for a solar system, and then get leaks. What kind of deal is that?
Yeah, you're right. Well, listen to this. I actually have a project now in a high-rise building with a flat roof, and it's not easy to fix the roof because we have all this mechanical equipment on top of the roof, and we have all this T-Mobile equipment that has to be lifted up off the roof in order to fix the roof. So man, it's a one big headache. So we got any more questions?
Yeah, Lance, we get two quick ones. Let me give them to you. Yeah, the first one here is, it looks like a condo issue. My condo board keeps putting off fixing the roof of my building. What can I do?
You can sue them. But actually, the first thing is put something in writing. Go to your condo board meeting, send a letter to your management company and the president of the board, and just keep sending those letters and basically force them to do the repair. If you need ideas, call me and I can tell you what to do.
Okay, this one I get for you, Lance. It's you were the construction manager of a large complex of 55 townhouse buildings, and I heard you rejected the roofing job of the first 6 buildings. Can you tell me why?
Gee, what is this person spying on me? But anyway, there was this huge roofing project that cost over $1 million. They had asphalt shingle roof, and I was a construction manager. So they started, their first group of 6 buildings. They started doing the buildings. I went to do the inspection, and I said, I'm not approving any of them. The reason why is the nails that they used for the asphalt shingles installation was too short. They weren't long enough to penetrate through the shingle, through the entire roof deck. So that's the reason. So anyway, I see it's 10 o'clock or nearing there, or maybe a little after. Appreciate everybody for attending, and hopefully you attend the next webinar. If you have other questions, please be sure to reach out to us by email or give us a call, and we'll be happy to help you. So once again, thanks for attending, and hopefully we'll see you at the next webinar. Aloha.